Okay, this question was an interesting question because they already did it. So it was a question that was done after the fact. The question was, when is it okay to get rid of or gift or bequeath a dog away? Situation was, client of mine, their son, who lives out of state, ended up having a 2-year-old German Shepherd rescue who is very reactive, very aggressive, has a lot of issues since they've ever had him. Anyway, so the family, the husband and wife, have a newborn. And then they also have this 2-year-old rescue. Well, the dog is 2 years old. They didn't have him for 2 years old, so let me clarify. And gave him away. But the question was, when is it okay to get rid of the dog? The dog has had issues before. The most recent one that was very worrisome was the dog ran into the neighbor's yard where the neighbor's cat is an outdoor cat, and it bit and injured the cat where it cost substantial amount of money. Cost about $10,000 in pet visits in order to save this cat's life. But again, with everything they have going on, and the family likes to travel together, they want to come over, my client has a dog, and then they're going to want to bring their dog because it's just too long, and you see where I'm going with this. There's just a lot of problems, and so the question still at hand is, when is it okay to give away a dog? There is a first, let me go ahead and address the elephant in the room, of which their dog should have been on a leash at minimum. They should have been on an e-collar, maybe at most, because if the dog's really reactionary, it shouldn't have been off leash and shouldn't have gone into a neighbor's yard and bit their cat. I'll go ahead and say that, so let's get that one off the table and eliminate that one and say it's poor dog ownership. Should have known better. But the dog is very reactive and has issues before. My client, the mother of this couple, was very nervous of this dog before, and when the dog is excited, it kind of sniffs and growls at people. You just never know. It's going to be a big question mark if this dog is going to bite or sniff at all. So they ended up getting rid of the dog to someone who has been around the dog before. They're in another state, but they have like 4 acres, out in the middle of Texas or somewhere, where the dog can hopefully live out its life in peace without any other neuroses and things like that. So is it okay to give up a dog in that situation? I would say yes, because you can give up. I don't want to say you want to give up too easy on a dog. You shouldn't. I mean, shit. I tell everyone, Ava would have been a rescue dog for anyone else other than me, Kelly and I, just because of all her issues. People just love the German Shepherd breed, and her look is fantastic, but it's just all the insecurities and the skittishnesses, and she can be reactive in certain situations for sure. And that's why I say, where most people wouldn't have dealt with it. They would have given her away, put her in a shelter, rescue, and who knows what would have happened from there. But when you got a newborn and a dog who's a lot to handle, I don't know how much training they did with this dog, so don't quote me there. But you have so much on your plate, and if the dog is already starting to cause problems and biting, this instance was a cat. It could have been easily a person or another dog. It's probably in their best interest to bequeath this dog to someone else. Not that, as much as I'm a component of keep the dog, you got the dog, you got, whether if it was a rescue or not. Who knows how the temperament of the dog was when they're, at the rescue shelter. How much they put into training, I don't know. How much they did for socialization, I don't know. But when you got a newborn and the dog is that reactionary, that reactive, that they are causing and biting things, it's the percentage and the increase of risk percentage of that dog biting the baby or someone else is too high. So I'll go ahead and say it's probably in their best interest, in the dog's interest, that they got rid of it, that they separated. Speaking of which, mine are going at it. If you ever wonder if my dogs play too hard, there you go. So it's a tough call to make. It's a personal call you have to make. But if you know you did everything for that dog and that dog is still that reactive and willing to still go after another dog or person or animal despite poor supervision, and you got a newborn, you just got too much on your plate, and it's probably best that you go and give that dog to someone who can put the time and effort that's needed for that dog to have a successful life. So I think they made a right call. Again, it's very episodic, it's very situational, where those calls have to be made. I'm hoping that they did everything possible for that dog before they came to that decision. But based on the information I just presented, the information that I just said, I think they made the right decision by getting rid of that dog. And yeah, hopefully the new owner, with their land and property, and hopefully, minimize distractions, that dog, whether if it's an angry dog or what, lives out its best remaining years there. So the point of this answer would be, ask yourself those questions. Did you do everything to this dog to make sure it was successful? Did you put the time, energy, socialization, the training into it? And you're not doing this just because they had a bad day. And with that, I'll leave you. Talk to you next time. Good luck. Keep training your dog. If you got any other questions, leave them in the comments or go ahead and email them to SeanDogsUSA.com. Talk to you next time. Done.